Things like that I would look at very quickly, because from the day that I become governor, I feel like every child born from that day forward is one of my children. I really feel like we have to look at all of these young people and think of them as our children. We need to think of them as our children, and we need to make sure that they have this nurturing environment to begin with, because it's been found that the lack of that nurturing environment in those first 5 years, let's say, impacts them for the entire lives.
Correct.
And so why should we miss that? It's not that hard to hit. It's not that hard to hit. It's not that hard to accomplish. Well, I have to admit that some of these projects that we're working on now, I think are not exactly the best for our community, in the sense that we're building $200 million schools. And I would have preferred to see more smaller schools than big, gigantic $200 million schools. I would have liked to see, a couple, maybe $10 million schools around the territory that would focus more on a smaller group. So if I go into office and there's a $200 million school, then we will have to use that at least to begin with. And we have to deal with the fact that the results are always the result of what we put in. What you get out is based on what you put in. And if we have our young people dropping out of school, that's something that I plan to focus on immediately. I don't want to have dropouts on the streets. If they're not able to read and write properly, they're going to have to do some tutoring. We're going to have some training. And that training is going to be part of their job. But I had to deal with that at the refinery one time, when I had to get the workers to pass a basic skills test, because it was a legal requirement. And we had to give them tutors, some of those workers tutors, but it worked, and you give them the tutors, but you also give them the job. Because if you're not contributing enough to keep them alive and well, if they can't pay the bills, it's a problem. Yeah. So one of the ways that you keep people functioning properly is to maintain them.
Idle hands, and it creates a whole source of problems.